Positive psychology in practice. Reminiscing in the past. I was reading in a book with positive psychology in practice. Wonderful. Many experts have one chapter. Well, they divide themselves and they a couple or three or one deals with a section or other. Positive psychology interventions, positive psychology, and education is the chapter I currently read. And time perspective, that was interesting. Um, the societies that are wealthy, um, countries that are wealthy, interestingly tend to be Calvinistic uh, because there is an emphasis in that doctrine, that religion, or take on religion, Protestant view. There's an emphasis on having achieved something in this life, and then you get a better treatment up there in heaven, paradise. And Calvinists will be more future focused. They will have a future time perspective, as opposed to, or better, more than Catholics. And therefore, we have the more affluent north of Europe versus the less affluent south. It's also individualistic societies have a more have pay more attention to the future. Again, future have a future time perspective than collectivistic societies. And I would say in Asia, the more in many places Confucian is, Confucian philosophy insists more on tradition, on less on the individual but on the collective. And it will be interesting to see if that is also a difference that we can see. And in terms of past, we have those who have a positive past time perspective, and those who have a past negative time perspective. And those who have a positive look at the past are happier, have more self-esteem, have better lives, as opposed to keep moaning, oh, if I only did that, and if this didn't happen then. And I was thinking that sometimes I do this, and I must change and enjoy what happened in the past and the good things, and refrain. For instance, I had this friendship with the first Miss Romania, and there were some glorious months, well, all together. Again, you see the tendency to take it down, to have a, if not a negative. Neutral is also bad in many studies. It's positive people who have better lives, personal, professional, and so on, as opposed to those who are negative and those who are neutral. I remember the study of the Notre Dame nuns, and those who were flamboyant, who were, if not incandescent, and fulminating about what happened, those were, God is so resplendent and gave us such a wonderful, wonderful day, and describing things and what happened in their diary. They were supposed to keep the diary, and then many decades later, these were studied, the diaries, and these who were positive lived on average 9 years longer than the other nuns, those who were neutral and negative. Well, negative there, that's exactly the point, I think. Didn't exist. There weren't nuns who were, oh, God was so, they just said, today didn't rain. More or less in the neutral category, not really negative. Very few, I think, were in that space. So returning, I should look at that. I mean, wonderful. for as long as it lasted, and forgive the fact that I entered a depression when it ended, and I was down in the dumps and terminated. Uh, then there's also the AT experience. I, I tried and I noted on in some chapters on what happened for what it's worth. And one thing that happened there was lamenting indeed the fact that this multinational company paid only $250 for a long time, and I only managed to get it to 400 as a maximum. True, in terms of allowance, what was allowed in terms of flight travel and the rest, it went on to something like 2,000 of income with renting my own space or whatever, because we didn't really have an office. So instead of seeing the good part that it went so well for parts of it, and after fights indeed, I went on and on, at least for some chapters, on why would they do this and why the guy in Latin America. Well, okay, forget. I mean, we don't compare. I mean, it's not, if that's what the market takes, 250. That's what you pay. I'm a partner in a business, and I hate the idea of, and it doesn't work, of us paying employees ridiculous sums. Let's say $2,000 a month, because that's what they pay in, I don't know, Poland, let's say, or not even Poland. And it will be bankruptcy and so on. So I understand this point of view market. But then, why do they pay in Latin America? They were paying people in Latin America much more than. So there were some points to this. Indeed, it's ridiculous to say, well, Panglossian, Candide, all is for the best in the best of possible worlds. You have to see some of the unjust things, and if you can, what's that prayer? God, give me the strength to and the wisdom to change the things I can, and just face the ones I can't, and the ability to make to see the difference, to see what I forget, but so I need to emphasize on the Olympics in the AT&T experience, and not the fact that I lost the luggage on the way to Olympics. Lost, in fact, was stolen in a Greyhound bus. The fact that I could see so much of America, not that I don't know, in the Olympics I had to do the night shifts, and I was shivering from the air conditioning, which was too strong at night, programmed in the same way as for the day, when there were thousands and thousands of people at the same time in this big arena. But at night there was no one, and the air conditioning would freeze the few working to death. Work on the positive, scan for the positive. It's not what happens, but what you make of what happens. There is nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it so. Hamlet.